It's the year of definitive editions, David Scammell. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it's a weird one, Sleeping Dogs, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
the ones we've had up until now, you've got GTA, Tomb Raider, Last of Us, they've all been genuinely amazing games.
Mm-hmm.
And Sleeping Dogs, to me, is one of those that
It's somewhere in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially now in a post GTA 5 world, I think maybe going back it will start to feel a bit more dated. So
I guess to this one for me feels like a game meant for people who didn't play it the first time round. Whereas I think with GTA, like you mentioned, I know you're really excited about going back to that one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people want to go back to Sleeping Dogs, but regardless,
yeah,
it looks better, as you can see here. Now, the important thing to note is that they're totally doing the Watch Dogs effect in the definitive edition. It's dark and it's raining,
yeah,
and the game looks way better when both of those things are happening.
Yeah, so I played it last week, and Watch Dogs was the first thing that came into my mind. So they've added new dynamic lighting and the particle effects. You can see here on the left all the kind of the way the rain passes through, all that little smoke there. It looks lovely. This stuff, however, the lighting looks a little off. Do you not think? I mean, where's the shadows?
Yeah, it's a bit. Looking at the ground is a little bit strange. I think the most impressive stuff from the footage we've been sent is the driving around at nighttime stuff. In fact, I don't think there's any gameplay from the day. I'm not sure.
No, there's not. No.
I'm not sure how that works. Does Sleeping Dogs ever have a day-night cycle? Because whenever I see this game, it's always dark.
Well, that's because it looks best when it's dark.
Yeah, exactly.
And when it's dark and when it's raining, as we just saw just then, the reflections on the ground with the wet floor, it does look really nice, that stuff. But then the bits in between aren't so impressive. So it's a weird one where it goes from looking absolutely stunning to looking like, actually, no, this is a last-gen game. A little bit, polished up.
Sure, and yeah, as you saw before, we're comparing. This is all PlayStation 4 footage. We're comparing it to the Xbox 360 version we've had in the office. But I want to point out that we didn't record the definitive edition gameplay. Although you have played it, whoever is playing this can't drive for shit. As you'll see later on.
Yeah. So they say that they've improved the character models as well.
Yep.
Which has led to improved faces. The cutscenes do actually look really nice. And his jacket, unfortunately it's not in the footage, but there's a couple of cutscenes I saw with his jacket. It looked lovely.
This feels like Watch Dogs, doesn't it? We're talking about his jacket already. Oh my goodness.
This bit here, when I played it, it had some noticeable frame rate dips. So I've played it on PS4.
Yep.
Square tells me that PS4 and Xbox One are both 1080p 30 frames.
Right.
But when there's a lot of action going on, I mean, in my playthrough, I blew up all these cars.
Yeah.
And it
as you would, of course.
Yeah, and it dipped a little. It wasn't mad, it wasn't crazy, unplayable frame rate. It was just a slight dip, and you thought, okay. But there's still optimization going on. Maybe that'll be fixed for the final release. But
right.
You don't know at this stage. Who knows?
Here we are. This is the example of.
Again, not us playing this.
Who is driving on the left-hand side here? They are all over the shop.
But it does. I mean, look at the light shafts coming through the rain. It looks really nice. I mean, it's not surprising this is the first footage they've decided to show off because I think this is probably Sleeping Dogs looking at its best.
Yeah.
And
it's weird, isn't it? It is one of those that when you go back and play the Xbox 360 version, man, games did used to look like that.
Yeah.
I
know.
I don't.
We've reached that stage, haven't we, Bratters?
It just suddenly happened.
This happened to me with Forza Horizon the other day. I remember the original Horizon looking a lot better than it actually does.
Yeah, and I think that
Look
might
at
be
that on the right.
the case with me for Sleeping Dogs. It'll be interesting to see. So this definitive edition is being released on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the PC, right?
Yes, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what the differences are between the standard PC version and the definitive edition.
Yeah, because I believe
the
the original PC version had like a mega texture pack released afterwards,
right,
which completely ramped the textures up anyway. So I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen the PC version yet.
There you are. Well, this is the wardrobe apparently where you can put different Square Enix games onto yourself.
Yeah, it comes with all the DLC. So you've got the Just Cause and the Hitman and the Deus Ex outfits and weapons and that, and they're quite cool. Yeah. Going to be a lovely package, isn't it?
It certainly will
Such
be.
Such a lovely package right there.
Yep, that's how I describe this game.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a spoiler. You didn't see that. There wasn't a suit.
Was there a spoiler?
With blood all over it.
Oh, right.
I wouldn't worry about that at all. Not critical to the storyline.
Yeah, this is one of the DLC cars again.
Yeah, I haven't played the DLC, but apparently it involves the Batmobile, which is interesting.
Yeah, but then, I mean, it looks really nice, except the reflections on the car. Is that me? Or do they just look a little bit...
Yeah, I see.
It's that kind of dull shine. no real detail there. It's little things like that where you think that could have perhaps been improved, and it hasn't. So.
But generally, if you want another game set at night time with lots of lovely rain, the Definitive Edition seems to be doing it pretty well.
I think they're very lucky that GTA is out a month after
I think they're very lucky indeed.
and that Rockstar hasn't shown much footage yet.
That does certainly help.
That plays into their favour, I think.
There you are. A lot of people like this game, and some people may not have played it already.
It was alright, I just don't know if it was good enough to go back to. Especially at such a crazy time of year when there's so much out anyway. I think £40 is a big ask. So,
alright,
we'll see how it goes.
There you are. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Christopher.
Well, that'll give you something to fiddle your diddle to, won't it? And if you want more, just subscribe.